Okay. Good morning, everybody. Today's Daf Chof Ches. So we're starting the bottom of Chof Zayin Omid Beis. We're in the middle of a story here. It's Gishmak and Maisa. Oh, got everybody's attention? No story. Nobody's gonna fall for that one again. Okay. Rish Lakish said halacha. He says that he himself, Rish Lakish holds that if there's a cremated body, you can't tell that it's a body. It's all ashes. It's erased. It's not there. You can't tell the shape. It doesn't transmit tumah. Says Rish Lakish. If so, if you have a shvir, you have an embryo that, let's look at Rashi. I thought I made up that lashon yesterday, but Rashi says, "Kimoy beitzim trufos b'ka'ara," like scrambled eggs, says Rashi. Okay, he is already mechaven. He took the shvir, he scrambled it up real good. Says Rish Lakish, there's no tumah. So now we're holding Omelei Rabbi Yochanan Rish Lakish. 5 minutes. Meishin is balbel tzurosei minolan detar. So how do you know? I wasn't joking, Mr. Katz. How do you know that? How does Rabbi Lakish? In other words, Rabbi Yochanan is coming to guess Rish Lakish's svara. How does Rish Lakish know in general that a body that's not discernible, you can't tell that it's a body, it doesn't transmit tumah? Like my guy in Indianapolis. Yesterday's Maisa. That was a Maisa. Where the firemen stepped on him and the FBI and nobody chapped. How do you know it's star? Okay, either he said it from him or he said it from him. If there's a body that burnt to crisp, but its shape, shildoi, its shape is there, Tomei. Maisa, Gishmak and Maisa. Here's the Maisa. Maisa hoya v'timulei psachim gdoilim v'tiarulei psachim ktanim. What's going on here? Amazing halachas. Every day we learn new halachas, new concepts, every single day. You have a house. In the house there's a body. In order for tumah, we know about tumah soil, everything in the room is tamei. For tumah to transfer from room to room, you need a poiseach tefach, you need a hole. Now, if you have the doors closed in the house, midiraisa, everything on the other side of the door is tar. But midirabanan, the doorway is tamei. In other words, if you have a thick lentil, you have a thick doorway, so even what's beyond the door, under the doorway is tamei. Why? Because Chachamim said that it's possible you're going to have to take this body out of the house. So the body's going to go through one of your doors. We don't know which one. So all doors are tamei. If I designate a specific door, I say I'm going to take him out of the front door. So the front door is tamei. What if you have small pieces? So wait a minute. What's the shear of a door? 4 tefachim by 4 tefachim. Why? Because I cannot take out a body through a hole that's smaller than 4 by 4. But if my body is a small body, it's a piece, it's broken up into pieces, unfortunately, kazayis pieces. So then even smaller holes than 4 by 4 are also tamei. So what does it say over here? It says that we have a full body, its tzura is there, burnt to crisp. What's the halacha? What's tamei, what's not tamei? Larger doors are tamei. Smaller openings are tar. Why? Because I treat this body as a regular body. I have to take it out the door eventually. I'm going to take it out in one piece. I'm not going to break it up. So what if it's ashes? It's somebody's father. We've got to treat it with respect. You take it out the front door. Says Rabbi Yochanan, L'chayra Rish Lakish was being medayik from this. V'ko daikas mino, the first line, Daf Chof Ches Amud Aleph. Taima d'shildi kayemes. In that story specifically, the body was intact. There was at least a form of a body. Halav hachitar. The reason why the doorway is tamei is because There's a body that's intact. What's the flip side of that? The small openings. Why are the small openings in this house tahar? Because the body cannot come out of there. Mashma, that if the body could come out of the small hole, because it's a pile of ashes, then those small holes would be tamei. So in fact, I could make a diuk to Rabbi Yochanan, not to Rish Lakish. Rabbi Yochanan holds 5 minutes. Rabbi Yochanan holds that a body that's in ashes, even if it has no tsura, it's still tamei. And Rish Lakish holds it's tar. Rish Lakish could prove his halacha from the fact that the doorway is tamei, because it's nafka in this case that the body is whole, but if the body wasn't whole, that doorway would be tar. And Rabbi Yochanan could prove his case from the small opening. The fact that the small opening is tar, why? Because the body is whole. But if the body was in pieces, the small hole would be tamei. Says Rabbi Yochanan, duk mino lai gisa. Make a diuk, the opposite way. Rabbi say,
small body, small child.
Rabbi say, sometimes when you're married for a while, you forget to appreciate your own wife. Sometimes we forget to appreciate our Yehoshua. Today he has fever, he's sick, and he's here this morning. He got up, he's texting everybody. Look at his hands. Look where he was yesterday on the roof. We have to appreciate him. He does a tremendous amount for the shir. Without him, we wouldn't be where we are. We have to have a karsa tov. The reason why the smaller openings are tahar in this case is because it's burnt to the crisp body. Its form is there. I can be medayik that the smaller holes would be tamei. I can take out this body in small pieces through the small hole, and therefore that hole should be tamei d'Rabbanan. Omar le Ravina le Ravashi. Rabbi Yochanan the Omar Kiman, Rabbi Eliezer. Rabbi Yochanan holds that if you have a body that's burnt and you don't see the form of the body, it's nevertheless tamei. He holds like Rabbi Eliezer. What does Rabbi Eliezer say? It's not an Eifers Rufim. Rabbi Eliezer oimer shiuron beroiva'am. Because Rabbi Eliezer holds that if you have ashes, in a cup, that's not a whole body. How much is the shear of ashes? Roiva'akov. Okay, so I see that even if it's not discernible, you cannot tell that it's a body, it's still metamas, says Rabbi Eliezer. Although Chachamim are Mechulgan Rabbi Eliezer, and you usually go by the Roiv, so there's a Tosfos over here, but the Rishonim, some Rishonim, like the Rambam, paskin like Rish Lakish in this case, because he goes with the majority. Fine. Heichi Domi Meisha Nisra B'Shildi Kayemes. Ask the Gemara a basic technical question. I didn't look it up. I should have looked it up. But if you cremate a body, and I don't know how much the temperature is there, thousands of degrees, let's say. I'm assuming that there's no body form. There's no form to the body. Once it's done, it probably just plops down on the floor of the oven in a pile of ashes. You're not looking at a form, at a human form. Ask the Gemara, so how do you have a human form if it's reduced to ashes? Says the Gemara, I'll tell you how. This is the only way we can figure it out. If you have a form of a human being, you take a form of a human being and you insert your dead person into that form, burn him up to a crisp, and then he'll remain in the form of a human being. But as is, if you don't have this form, he will fall down to the floor. He'll become a flat pile of ashes. So you need a form of a human being.
It'll be flat, will keep the shape.
It'll keep the shape. It keeps the shape of the human. That's all we want now. To keep the shape of the human being. Then you could tell this is a human being. If you saw nothing, like in Indianapolis, nothing, and you stepped on it, fine. If you saw this, you might say, "Oh, there's a human here. Be careful. Don't step on it." Zog the Gemara, my bike, you're going to sarfa agabi kadvula. He made a form made out of leather. Rava Amaki going to sarfa agabi afudrim. He made a form made out of marble. The point is the same. It could burn. It doesn't hurt the marble. It doesn't hurt the leather. but the human form, the shape remains the same. Ravina is mechulik. Ravina says this doesn't count. This is cheating. Why? Because this is not a human form. You forced it with your mold to look like a human, but that's not a human form. So how do you get a human form? You make a charcoal out of it. In other words, the outside is nice and crispy, so it retains the human form, but it's inside, it's all ashes. If you touch it, it probably will plop down. Like a nice coal after a good geschmack of barbecue. It looks like a coal, but if you just give it a little poof, it's reduced to nothing. New sugya. This is the Adams family. A woman gives birth, she miscarries a hand. Perfect hand. It's formed nicely, it has the fingers and everything. Imoit meyoleda, and I say that on purpose, because what are the two options here? That this hand came from a fully developed fetus, or this hand came, look, the reason why she just miscarried a hand is because something wrong is going on here. So perhaps it's a guf atum, like we learned. Guf atum is an incomplete fetus. So maybe it had a torso and a hand, and she just delivered the hand part, but it never had a head at all. Maybe. But the fact that it was fully developed, and it has fingers and nails, it just looks like a perfect hand, there's a very good reason to believe that this came from a fully developed fetus. And the rest of it, you just don't know where it is. You're unsure when she delivered the rest. It might have came out in small pieces and she didn't realize. And we're not concerned that maybe she's not Tamei Leida, because if she gave birth to incomplete fetus, she's not Tamei at all. We know the fact that there's a hand there, she's Tamei. Oh, so if she just delivered a baby and you say that she's Tamei for 14 days, how many days is she Tamei for? Like in a keva. We don't know. Zach in a keva, so we have to go to Chumrah 14 days. So she just delivered a baby. Give her freebies. Give her 33 days of free tayar. So you don't want to give her 33, give her 26, up to day 40, but give her something. No. Look, where's the rest of the baby? We don't know who the rest of the baby is. So maybe the rest of the baby came out a month ago in small pieces. And if it came out a month ago, when does she become a Yuledes? When most of the baby was delivered. Well, most of the baby was delivered a month before the hand came out. So she was a Tmeya, and then her Toyar started. She actually got her Toyar, she didn't know about it. She just missed her Toyar days because she was unaware that she gave birth. Memela, not that she doesn't get Yemei Toyar. We're just concerned that the Yemei Toyar happened and are gone. Perhaps her birth was a long time ago. Because how else can you explain away the fact that there was a full fetus there and now there's nothing? You don't know where it is. Exactly. Maybe this way, maybe that way. But maybe it came out before. Maybe it's going to come out tomorrow. But we don't know. So because we don't know, you can't give her any toyar. But one thing I know, that she's a Yeledes. That much I'll say, that she's a Yeledes and she's Tamei. Maser Rav Yosef.
If it came out before, then now she's...
No, but it definitely came out.
Came out before, then she's not Tamei. Now you go with the right.
But there's another Leida now. But yeah, I mean, either way, she has to bring a carbon, and you eat the carbon because there's certainly a Leida here. When, before, after, but accumulative, there's some Leida. You want to say that right now she's not 100% Niddah? Okay, I'll give it to you. Hama Peles, Maser Rav Yosef. I have a kasha. Tomorrow's daf, one of the most famous. This is the most famous daf in Masechtas Niddah tomorrow, I think, or maybe not. But it's the famous sugya of Taya, and the Mishnah that begins the whole sugya, short little Mishnah, and it says like this: Hama Peles, when you do a ma'ipila, if she miscarried, but she has no idea what she miscarried, if it's a boy or a girl, teishav lezachar v'lena keva. Now, the obvious question is, you don't know what it is, so of course she must consider the fact that maybe she gave birth to a girl and be tamei for 14 days. So what is the Mishnah coming to be mechadasher? It's not a big chiddush. We must say that the Mishnah is talking about a case where it didn't come out completely. It's our case. A partial kid came out. Ememela what? Nevertheless, you have to be concerned that maybe it's a girl. Now, maybe if you turn the page, let's look at the Lashon for a second, because it's important to see Daf Chav Tesam Dalef, small Mishnah. If she miscarried and you don't know what it is, you have to go both directions. In other words, take the nekeva, which is the most chomer, 14 days of tumah. Next case. Ein yedua im vlad hoya im lav. You don't know if it's even a fetus. I don't know what it is. Look at this lashon. Teisha v'lezachar v'lenekeva ulenida. What does that mean? Ulenida. Ulenida means that she doesn't have yemei toyar. So if she sees dam after 14 days, nida. She's not tahar like a regular woman that gives birth. Ulenida. We say that she's a nida like a regular nida. Okay.
She doesn't get 26 days.
She doesn't get 26 days. She goes immediately into nida period. Now, why did the Reisha mention that? The word nida. Teisha v'zachav in the keva ulenida. Nida meaning she doesn't get yemei toyar. What does that tell me? That she does get yemei toyar. If she, again, obviously the Mishnah is talking about she didn't deliver a complete baby. A hand, this, just like in our sugya. And it says that she has to wait as a zachar nekeva. She has 14 days of tumah. No mention about yemei toyar. Like the seifa in that Mishnah, a line later, it says you don't get yemei toyar in the second case. Mashma that in the first case, you do get yemei toyar. Not like what we're just saying now. We're saying that you don't get yemei toyar. A woman who delivers a hand doesn't get any free days. In that Mishnah is mashma, she does get free days. So what do you do with that? In that case, we should say, wait a minute. Maybe this incomplete fetus that she just gave birth to, she gave birth to last month, and therefore she doesn't have yemei toyar, listening ulenida, and therefore it should say the word nida, which would mean that right after the yemei tumah, right after 14 days, day 15, if she sees dam, she becomes a nida right away. Amar Abayo, no. In that Mishnah, she does have yemei. She does not have yemei toyar. So why doesn't the Mishnah there say the word ulenida? It should say ulenida. That was your question. The halacha is that she must bring a karban because she's a yoledes. But if it would say ulenida, it would confuse me. It would say that she's not a yoledes because she doesn't get yemei toyar. Every yoledes gets yemei toyar. Why is this woman not getting any free days? It says ulenida. Oh, because it's just a suffix, like Chaim was saying. It's just a suffix. Suffix, you don't bring a karban with suffix. It's a problem. How can you bring chulun ba'azara? It's a problem. You don't need it. Mimela doesn't say the word nida, but really she doesn't have tayar. She doesn't have yemei tayar because maybe she passed it by already last month.
But maybe this mission is talking about where there's no chelik of the baby comes out. It's a whole baby. You just don't know. It's a zachar nekeva. It's a tuldim madruginas.
No, but I explained that already. You're right. In that case, she does get yemei tayar. And that could be part of the Mishnah. You are right. But the question is, why does the Mishnah have to tell me that? If I ask you, Chaim, if a woman gives birth to something and somebody stole it, how many days of tumah does she have? We don't know what she gave birth to. Before the doctor told her you had a girl or a boy, somebody went, snatched the baby and ran out of the room. How many days? Tell me, how many days of tumah does she get? She gets 14 days of tumah. That's pashut. So what is the Mishnah coming to be mechadish? Muzmin Zogin, that's what I stuck in there. You have to say that the Mishnah is also talking about a case where only partial baby came out. Mamish our case. Because if it's a complete baby, there's absolutely no chiddush in the Mishnah. There's no reason for the Mishnah to tell it to me. That's how they explain the Gemara. And then it's talking about also a case where a partial baby came out, and therefore we don't know if it's a zachar nekeva, a hand came out, half a body came out. And the Mishnah says, Teisha zachar nekeva. What about yemei toyar? Maybe she delivered that baby, the rest of that baby, a month ago, and Mela she doesn't have yemei toyar, so the Mishnah should say she doesn't have yemei toyar. She doesn't have yemei toyar. In that case, she doesn't have yemei toyar. And in your case, we have to add, in your case, where the baby came out complete, and I see the whole baby here, and I know that it didn't come out in pieces a month ago, she does have yemei toyar. because it was a regular nafel. And a regular nafel, you get your meitayar. It's a regular. And if you don't know if it's a girl or boy, so I'll give you 26 days of your meitayar. What is considered halachically a birth? So if a baby just stuck out his hand and put it back in, that is considered a birth. The Gemara is going to say it's only midrabanan. Shenemar. It says by Tamar, Vayi belidta vayiten yod. As she's giving birth, what's considered birth? Vayiten yod. He stuck out his hand. Mazar Rav Yehuda, hoitzi ubes yodai, ein imay cheshesh is called davar. It says mefurish that once he only stuck out his hand, his mother doesn't have to be concerned for anything, meaning it's not a birth. It's only midrabanan. You may toya lo yavinin lo adenofik ruba. You want a deraisa, and the deraisa is only when the baby comes out. Roiv vayneim loy cheshesh the kol davar kamar. It says mefurish. You don't have to worry about anything, even midrabanan. Omar Abaye in cheshesh the kol davar mideraisa, midrabanan cheshesh, which is still very hard to understand. Why would it say such a strong lashon? Any cheshesh, you don't have to worry about anything. The Rabbanan is nothing. You don't have to, not worrying about it, the Rabbanan is nothing. The Rabbanan say you do have to worry about it. Fine. But Al-Kabanim, the Gemara says in the Nafkimi between the Rabbanan and the Raisa, you bring me a raya from Tamar that she gave birth but with a hand. With the Rabbanan across Machtav. It's only the Rabbanan, the Gemara just brought the pasuk from Tamar as something to rely on, but not as a real Raisa. Sure. Atkan, new Mishnah. Hamapeles tumtum androgynous. A woman who gives birth, or miscarries, a tumtum and androgynous, our famous tumtum and androgynous. Either it's a tumtum, it's a zachar or an akeva, you just don't know. If you remove a piece of skin, you could tell, but you don't know how to remove it. You don't have an ultrasound, you can't tell. Today you probably just do a small, easy blood test, and you could see in a second zachar and akeva. But physically, you cannot see it. Right now, I have a suffix. Androgynous is much worse. Androgynous is both. He has male and female organs. So it's both. There's a big shaila. Androgynous, bri b'fnei atzma, not bri b'fnei atzma. Even if you say a bri b'fnei atzma, some say it's only bri b'fnei atzma to the point that it's a suffix, but it's really either one or the other. Fine. Whole sugya, we learned a whole sugya about bri b'fnei atzma. So what do you do if she miscarries one of these characters? Teishel is zachav and nekeva. She doesn't know what it is, so she has to be machmer, right? It says mefurish in this Mishnah she has to be machmer. So the next Mishnah, what's the next Mishnah telling me? That if I don't know, same halacha basically. Teishev lezachar v'lenekeva. So what does that mean in practical terms? She's tamei for 14 days, and she only gets 26 days of tahara. Tumtum v'zachar. What if she gave birth to twins? Now the tumtum is either a zachar and a keva, and the zachar. Zachar doesn't do anything for me. Zero. Zachar doesn't add anything, because that was the riddle that I said. That was the only person in the room that didn't get the riddle, and that is if a woman gives birth to a zachar and a keva, everybody understood by themselves that the nekeva overrules the zachar in all areas. You get tumah for 14 days, and you get the hara for 66 days, even though the zachar of the twin is only up to day 40, you still go all the way to day 80 because it's the hara days. I don't care about the zachar. So I disregard him. So the Gemara is going to ask, so what did the zachar do here? Who cares? So that's the obvious question. Androgynous v'zachar, and the same case if you have she gave birth to both things, an androgynous and a zachar, teisha, the zachar and the nekeva, because perhaps the androgynous and the tumtum are in the nekeva. And the nekeva wins. Tumtum v'nekeva, androgynous v'nekeva, teisha v'nekeva b'vad. So if, this is obvious shababis. If she gave birth to a twin that's 100% in nekeva, so who cares what the androgynous is? It could be a zachar, it could be nekeva, it could be both. At the end of the day, the nekeva wins, and you get 14 days of tumah and 66 days of tahara. Yotza mechutach misuros. If this Vlad came out in pieces, oy misuros does not mean that he's a saris. It means that he came out breech. He came out feet first. Mishiyotza rubai. Once most of the body comes out, that's considered a birth. But if he came out normally with his head first, Most of his hair comes out. His forehead comes out, and we'll see a little bit in the Gemara what that means. Says the Gemara, the Avi's question, if a tumtum comes out by himself, we say that we have to be machmir and give her days of a nekeva, 14 days of tumah. Tumtum v'zachar, androgynous v'zachar mibaya. So what if you add another twin to the equation? She's still being machmir as an nekeva because she herself, because it's a tumtum, and a tumtum you get days of a nekeva. So just because she gave birth to a zachar, I should lower the amount of days of tumah? It's impossible. Itzrich. And we had this far earlier. How does a woman give birth to a male when she's mazriat chila, whatever that means? Ish mazriat chila yuledes nekeva. Ema midahai zachar hainami zachar. Since she has twins and one of them is a male, that's an indication that she was mazriat chila. And if she's mazriat chila, then the other one is also male, which is very hard for me to understand at least. And I saw people discuss it. In the time of the Gemara, they had twins that were boys and girls all the time. It happens every day. So the Gemara had a question on every time there was twins that were born a girl. Isha mazriat chila, Isha mazriat chila. Yeah, we had it. Yeah.
At the same time. Half, no?
Yeah, that's exactly what the Gemara says. It happens simultaneously. Yeah. Now they also point out the Rishonim that this is only a question or an answer. The high zachar and ami zachar is talking about a tumtum, because an androgynous is something b'fnei atzma. It's both. So it can't be that she was mazriya and she made a zachar. He was mazriya, because it has both. So what is it? So the Gemara is talking about the tumtum. The fact that I'm looking at twin B and he's a zachar, that should be an indication that under that skin that you don't know is another zachar because mazriya tchila. Maybe it's going by roiv. Maybe most twins are like that. I don't know. So it's possible that she was mazriya tchila, he was mazriya tchila simultaneously, and memela out came a zachar and a nekeva. Omer Nachman Omer Rav, tumtum v'androgynous shero loiven oydem. You have an androgynous, let's say. You don't know if it's a zachar or nekeva. Out of his body comes something white. Say he's a balkari, but maybe it's a she. There's no keri on a she. Oydem. Out comes red. Oh, she's a niddah, but it's not a she. It's a he. Kids in America, you can understand the sugya perfectly with the whole. Yeah, you don't know what you're looking at. He, she, he. Kids are. It's everybody's confused. So what goes on here? What?
You know that Moshe gave a rainbow to show that we're no longer going to have the world destroyed for all this terrible immorality.
And they use that as the symbol.
Calling themselves the Rainbow Coalition.
Yeah. There's probably a bedafka, who knows? So what do you do? So if they go into a Beis HaMikdash like that with this dam niddah, you don't bring a carbon. Why don't you bring a carbon? Says Rashi, because you don't bring a carbon chulm b'azara. You have to be certain that this person is a woman and the dam is the dam of a niddah. But maybe this person is a zachar and the dam is nothing. Maybe the loiven is not it's a woman and she doesn't have keri. So you don't bring a carbon. This is an interesting question here I saw. Why do you have to come on that it's chulm b'azara? Just say that in order to bring a carbon, you have to have yediyah. You have to know that I'm tamei and I forgot. But this person never had a yediyah. This person himself can never know whether he's a niddah or not, because he might be a woman, he might be a man. He can never have a yediyah. In order to bring a carbon b'shoy chatos, you have to have a yediyah at one point in time in your life. You have to know, you have to be sure that you were tamei and then forgot. You have to know that you're tamei and you forgot it's Beis HaMikdash. Let's say we're going to be discussing in a second. But there had to be a yediyah at one point, and over here you never had a interesting question. Fine. What happens? And you don't burn truma, meaning this suffix zachar nekeva that saw dam suffix. So now he's a suffix nida. He touched truma. What do you do with the truma? You don't burn it. But what do you do with it? It's toilen. You can't eat it because maybe it's in a keva that's a niddah and touched it, and it's tummy. What if they both came out not simultaneously, but before this person had a chance to go to the mikvah, he saw keri, he saw dam. He doesn't know if he's a zach, he doesn't know if he's in a keva. But one thing is, we know for sure, this individual is tummy, because if he's in a keva, dam, and if he's a zachar, keri. But either way, one or the other makes him tummy. We don't know which one is mitamen. Would you believe that there's a man that says that he's not even tummy, he's not chayiv anything when he goes into Beis Hamikdash? Why? Because you have to know what you are. You have to know what tumah caused the tumah. You can't just have a suffix and think that you might know. He saw both in the same day or whatever in that period. He's not chayiv. Again, he cannot bring a carbon. Why doesn't he bring a carbon? It says, "Mizochor vad nekeva teshalechu." So, it says 3 times in the Torah, at least for this sugya, 3 times it says zochar v'nekeva. Zochar v'nekeva could come to exclude something that's not a zochar v'nekeva, such as a tumtum and androgynous. So we have our sugya bias migdash. It says mi zochar ad nekeva teshalechu. A zochar nekeva. The Gemara is going to say that comes to exclude a bunch of things, including tumtum and androgynous. The next one is truma. Like truma, it says la zochar vila nekeva. Over here, it doesn't come to exclude a tumtum and androgynous. And then it says by erechin, one pasuk says zochar, the next pasuk says v'im nekeva. So, zog to Gemara. Daf Chof Ches Amud Beis. Zochar vadai nekeva vadois. V'loi tumtum. So if you have a tumtum that walked into the Beis HaMikdash, you have a tumtum that walked into the Beis, Rabbi say all coffee spilling, get rid of it right here in Chaniche. In a month and a half, there is absolutely no coffee spilling.
Some people might need special non-sipping tiles.
The tiles, the tables, everything is allergic to coffee. We're importing. Robert Links is looking at me. He's like, "What? I don't remember such a thing." But anyways, we're bringing in mahogany, unstained mahogany from Asia.
It's going to get stained, don't worry.
And we will stain it individually, each one with their own. Fine. Zocher vadai nekeva vadai zolitum androgynous. So if a tumtum finds himself in the Beis Hamikdash with dam niddah and keri, he doesn't bring a carbon because it says in the pasuk, zocher nekeva. Perhaps I'll say, I have a raya. It seems very close in the words, word for word. A tumtum androgynous who see white and red. And they don't have to bring a carbon if they find themselves in the Beis Hamikdash. You don't burn the truma, but you toilet. If they see it in the same time, you don't have to bring a carbon. You do burn the truma. Oh, did I forget to say that before? Since this individual is 100% tamei, because either she is a niddah or he is a balkari, but one of the two happened here. Memela, if this individual tumtum touched truma, it's 100% tamei. Burn it. Fine. Because it's Xeris HaKosav, it says Zochar v'nekeva. When you have Xeris HaKosav, no kashes. I was saying, my timer, ask Mendy my timer. La mishum shenemar mi Zochar v'nekeva t'shalechu. Zochar v'adai, nekeva v'adois. V'loi tumtum androgynous. Perhaps it's what we started off our sugya saying that says Zochar v'nekeva. Ama'ula have another reason, a more geshmaka reason maybe. Loi. Hamani Rebbe Elazar, this not Rebbe Elazar Oimer. Check this pasuk out. It says in the pasuk, "Benivla sheretz tamei v'nela mimenu v'hu tamei." He touched the sheretz, tamei v'nela mimenu. Rebbe Elazar darshans the words in red. He ignores this word, everything. The Gemara even adds on a hey. Hasheretz v'nela mimenu. Basically, sheretz v'nela mimenu. Okay, Hasheretz v'nelam ad helam sheretz uchayev v'nechayev al helam migdash. Rebbe Lezer holds that if a person forgets that he's in the Beis HaMikdash, he doesn't have to bring a carbon. He only has to bring a carbon if he forgets that he touched the sheretz. Why? Because it says sheretz. Sheretz v'nelam imenu. The halama, what he doesn't know, is the sheretz. Okay. Rebbe Kiva Omer, see if you can find the difference here in Rebbe Kiva and Rebbe Lezer. V'nelam imenu v'utame. Rebbe Kiva goes this way. Starting with the red words, v'nelam imenu v'utame. Alalem tumo uchayev v'nechayev al helam migdash. Rebbe Kiva says exactly the same thing as Rebbe Lezer l'chayra. The Rebbe Kiva says, you're not chayev if you forget that you're in the Beis HaMikdash. V'nelam imenu v'utame. You're only chayev if you forget that you touched the sheretz. V'amrina mai binayu. What is the difference between Rebbe Lezer and Rebbe Kiva? V'machizkiya sheretz and avela ikke binayu. There's a difference if a person touched both a sheretz and an avela, or an avela he has in front of him. Two plates. One is a sheretz, one is an avela. He knows he touched the plate, but he doesn't know which one he touched. The Rebbe Lezer sava bin adi yodai b'sheretz itami bin aveli tami. Unbelievable halacha. He knows that he's tamei, but he doesn't know what was mitamim, a sheretz and avela. He's not chayiv to bring a carbon in the Beis HaMikdash. Why? Because it says mefurish sheretz v'ne'elam mimenu. He has to know that it's a sheretz, and he doesn't know that it's a sheretz. It might be an avela. He doesn't know that it's an avela. It might be a sheretz. So he's potter from a carbon. Unbelievable. He's 100% tamei. A carbon he doesn't bring. So chasarn in the idea. Rebbe Kiva savar le'be'inon. I don't need his idea. Why? Check it out. It says, "V'ne'elam imenu." All you need to know, v'hu tamei. He's tamei regardless. He doesn't use the word sheretz. Rebbe Lezer that uses the word sheretz tells me that I need to know that it's a sheretz. Rebbe Kiva doesn't use the word sheretz. He learns from the second part of the pasuk. So even if you don't know it's a sheretz, I know that you're tamei. Bring a carbon because you're tamei. So Mamela, what does that have to do with our sugya? Lava Rebbe Lezer also been in the yoda b'sheretz itami bin in veli itami ochinami in our sugya be in the yoda ibn loyven itami beoidim itami. This man, woman, guy, she, he saw red, saw white, saw both, but he doesn't know if he's a boy or a girl, if he's a man or a woman. But according to Rebbe Kiva, regardless either way, mimanav shachis tamei. Because if it's a girl, if it's a woman, he's a niddah, she's a niddah, and if he's a guy, then he's a keri. Says Rebbe Lezer, that's not enough for me. B'sheret, I need to know why I'm tamei. I need to come to the Beis HaMikdash knowing why I'm bringing this carbon. I can't say, there's no mimanav shach in the Beis HaMikdash. It's either you say I'm a guy and I'm a bakeri, or I'm a girl and I'm a niddah. I can't say I might be both and I touch both and I have both. That doesn't work, says Rebbe Lezer. Moedik pshat. So Mendy asked me, what's pshat? That you don't bring a carbon. That's the pshat. Because I don't know for sure, 100%. Or, the first pshat of the Gemara is because it says, Zachar v'nekeva. That's Mimai, the Tumtum Dragons. Barak, it's a good thing you're sitting all the way at that end. We had a guy, I'm not kidding, we had a guy that used to sit right over here next to me. He spilled coffee on my Gemara 3 times. We had to move him. We had to get rid of him. So you're not going to sit there anymore. No, we didn't. But he, by himself, Baruch Hashem. He moved a couple seats down. What?
You know that story about the ashes?
Yeah. It's right here.
No, that's the guy.
Yeah. Mr. Cormley will tell you about his Gemara. It's still that Gemara? Yeah. What daf is that? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Daf?
You never forget that one.
Daf Vav. Okay. Chaim, remember that. Niddah Daf Vav. That's your. It's a beauty. It's a beauty. That's the beauty of the Gemara. Hachinami beino diyoda ibloivin intami b'odvin tami. Avol Rabbi Akiva d'Amar mishum tum b'mechayev. Hachinami mishum tum b'mechayev. But according to Rabbi Akiva, it doesn't matter if you know or don't know. The point is, either way, you're a chayev. V'rav ma'ishno bias migdosh deloi d'chsiv mizochav ad nekeva d'shalechu. Now we're going back to these psukim over here. We said by bias migdosh it says mizochav ad nekeva. and that comes to exclude, according to Rav, a tumtum v'androginus. So that means that anytime it says Zachar Nekeva, it comes to exclude a tumtum v'androginus. Let's look at the parasha of Truma. Truma, it says Zachar v'Nekeva. According to Rav, if a tumtum v'androginus who's tamei, 100% tamei, he picked up a dead person 5 minutes ago, comes and touches Truma, you could eat the Truma, it's not a problem, it's not tamei. Because it says Zachar v'Nekeva. In the parasha of Truma, it says Zachar Nekeva. Not a tumtum v'androginus, that's tamei. Why not? Rav Maishno bias migdash deloy dechsiv mizachar v'Nekeva t'shalechu. Zachar v'yada Nekeva does he learns v'lo tumtum v'androginus. Ihachi Truma nami loy nisroiv. Don't burn Truma that a tumtum v'androginus touched. Dechsiv azav ezoy v'oila Zachar v'Nekeva. Zachar v'yada Nekeva does v'lo tumtum v'androginus. Says the Gemara, that would be good if those words are extra, and I would come to exclude a tumtum v'androginus, but they're not extra. La zachar l'rabbis is hamitzorah l'mayinosav v'lenekeva l'rabbis hamitzoras l'mayinosav. Then what? A zav who has a secretion who spits at you, the spittle is a zav. It's an avatuma. It's the worst tum in the world. It doesn't go down one madrega of a zav touching a liquid and the liquid touch you. The liquid of a zav, his meiraglaim are a zav. Comes the Torah and tells you a mitzorah. His spit, his meiraglaim, is a mitzayra. It's avatuma. And that I learned from La Zachar v'Nekeva. Therefore, I cannot learn anything from the word La Zachar v'Nekeva to exclude a tumtum v'androginus. Says the Gemara, Hanami. So in our case, by Bias Beis Hamikdash, it says Mizachar v'Nekeva. I need it. Hanami miboyle b'mishesh l'tar b'mikva prat likli cheres. Okay. So, here's the pasuk. I'm just cheating. I'm telling you what we're going to have here so you don't get confused. It says in the pasuk, Mi Zachar ad Nekeva. So the Gemara learns from the word Zachar and Nekeva, not a tumtum. That's Rav, not a tumtum. But from the word Mi Zachar, the mem, it comes from a Zachar. So what tumah are we dealing with? We're dealing with the tumah that comes from his body. But if a tumtum and androgynos touch a corpse or a sheretz, they do have to bring a carbon. We have to get them out of Beis Hamikdash immediately. Then from the word ad, we learn that anything, not only is Zachar Nekeva, but also anything that could be toiveled in the mikveh, such as a kli. So if I have a metal kli mateches that became tamei, but I could put it in a mikveh to become tar, and it's in the Beis Hamikdash, get rid of it right away. Take it out of the Beis Hamikdash. But what about this, plastic? A kli cheres that's not mekabel tumah, you can't put it, it's mekabel tumah, but I can't put it in the mikveh. Why can't I put it in the mikveh? Because the Torah says, tishaberu, you got to break it. So that you don't have to remove from the Beis Hamikdash, and that I learned from the word ad. The Gemara wanted to learn it from the fact that it says Zachar in a cave, it doesn't say the word Adam. And the Gemara says from ad. So let's see inside. So if you see this on the WhatsApp that Gary sent yesterday, this is wrong. There's another thing in green here, I erased it and just added these words, L'mayit Cheres over here. The one time that Gary decided to send it at 12 o'clock at night, we got to get rid of it. Fine. Says the Gemara, I can learn two things. From the fact that it says Zachar Nekeva, I learned not a tumtum and dragon. So also, it should have said Adam. Adam means, and not a kli cheres, I can learn two things. But wait a minute, I can't say Adam. Because it says Adam, I would say that a metal kli does not have to be removed from the Beis Hamikdash. That's not true. It says in the pasuk right before, anything that became tummy from a dead person, that would include even kalim. Zachar Nekeva lamali. So why do I need the extra word Zachar Nekeva likaderav to exclude a tumtum v'adroginos? Ve'ema kuli likaderav udasa. So perhaps this whole pasuk, once I'm telling you that this pasuk comes to exclude a tumtum, so where did you get the idea that it's also coming to tell you that not a kli cheres? Who's talking about kalim over here? For that the Gemara says, Im kein nichtav Zachar u'Nekeva mai mi Zachar va'ad Nekeva. What's the word ad? Ad kol dova shesh litahar b'mikvah. That's how I learn. Not a kli cheres, doesn't have to come out of the Beis Hamikdash. So if a tumtum androgynous is excluded. Why is the tumtum androgynous excluded? Because it says mizachar and nekeva. So if he's tummy in the Beis Hamikdash, he doesn't bring a carbon. So what if he touches? He's holding a dead body in his hand and he touches. He doesn't have to bring a carbon. No, he does have to. Why? And that's right over here from the mem. I learned that the tumah has to come out of his body like niddah and carry, but not tumah of a sheretz and a mace. If he touches that, of course he has to bring a carbon, and we have to get rid of him. So the third pasuk by Erchin, it says in one pasuk hazachar, and then it says vim nekeva. So we should exclude a tumtum androgynos as is, but that's not so simple because V'tanya hazachar v'leitumtum androgynos yachal lo yeh be'erchisha aval yeh be'erchisha. In the whole parsha, remember the whole parsha of Erchin. I'll just pull this out for a second. You can see there's difference between zachar and nekeva. If she's between 5 years old and 20 years old, it's 20 shekel versus 10 shekel. Every age, there's a different category of money. 30, 50, 5 and 3, 10, they never equal a man and a woman. Unless they're older. And then, whatever. They're not equal though. Percentage-wise, the older man is worse off than an older woman. Fine. So the Gemara is darshaning it not from the Zohar and Nekeva like we learned up until now by Bias Migdash, but from the extra Hey and the extra Vav. Meaning, that's a problem for us. Shouldn't Zohar and Nekeva, the words alone, exclude a Tumtum Vandrogynos? Why do I need extra letters here to exclude them? Zohar Vada Nekeva Vada is Tumtum Vandrogynos Taim B'Lechsiv HaZohar V'im Nekeva Hom Zohar Nekeva, but the words itself, Lo Mimait. Says the Gemara, you're right. Usually it is Mimait. In that case, it's not Mimait. There's a basic, fundamental difference between a man and a woman. This whole list right over here, and that's in the words Zachar Nekeva. Therefore, I need a Hazachar Vim Nekeva to tell us they're not a Tumtum Androgynos. If somebody says Erki Olai and points to a Tumtum Androgynos, he doesn't bring any money at all. They're not in the parsha of Erchin. Have a wonderful day.
It's open bars too. Open bars too is that it's Bavas.